You've been told to budget, save 10%, and invest in index funds. Cut the daily coffee, track every expense, live below your means. But here's what they don't tell you. The 1% don't follow this advice. While you're analyzing whether that 5 latte fits your budget, they're creating wealth through targeted focus on high-leverage assets that most people never even consider. The secret isn't about money management, it's about identity transformation and strategic disappearance from low-value activities that keep you financially average. This isn't another generic wealth video telling you to diversify and play it safe. This is the counterintuitive approach that separates the truly wealthy from everyone else. Traditional wealth advice is built on a scarcity mindset that trains you to think small, save pennies while missing dollars. The entire system is designed to keep you focused on conservation instead of creation, and that's exactly why it keeps you poor. The 1%. Understand something fundamental that financial advisors won't tell you. Wealth comes from creation, not conservation. They don't spend their mental energy tracking expenses or optimizing their grocery budget. They spend it identifying and dominating opportunities that can multiply their income by 10x or 100x. Most people spread their energy across multiple income streams thinking diversification equals security. They have a side hustle, a retirement account, maybe some rental income, and a few different investments. The result? Mediocre performance everywhere. They're doing everything but mastering nothing. Real wealth requires uncomfortable focus. It means saying no to 99% of opportunities so you can completely dominate the 1% that actually matters. This goes against every piece of traditional advice you've ever received, but it's exactly what separates those who build generational wealth from those who stay financially average their entire lives. Here's the deeper problem. Identity homeostasis keeps you stuck in middle-class thinking patterns even when you start making more money. Your brain has neural pathways wired for financial mediocrity through years of play it safe conditioning. You've been trained to think like someone who needs to save every dollar instead of someone who creates value at scale. This conditioning runs so deep that even when opportunities for exponential growth appear, your identity rejects them. Your brain literally can't process non-linear thinking because it's been programmed for linear, incremental progress. Save a little more each month, invest a little more each year, maybe get a small raise. This is the thinking that keeps people trapped in financial mediocrity forever. The framework that actually creates wealth starts with one critical decision: identifying your single highest leverage skill or asset, not your 5 best skills, not your top 3 opportunities. Your one thing that could 10x your income if you focused on it completely. This requires brutal honesty about what you're actually exceptional at versus what you think you're good at. Most people confuse competence with mastery. They're decent at several things and mistake that for having multiple wealth-building opportunities. The truth is, being decent at 5 things will keep you financially average. Being exceptional at one thing will make you wealthy. Once you identify that one thing, everything else becomes strategic disappearance. This means systematically removing yourself from all activities that don't directly feed your core wealth vehicle. No more side projects that might work out. No more networking events that feel productive but generate 0 results. No more learning new skills that sound interesting but don't compound your primary advantage. You have to create a vacuum where your old financial identity existed. Stop thinking like someone who needs to save every dollar and start thinking like someone who creates value that others pay premium prices for. This identity shift is uncomfortable because your brain will resist it with every excuse about playing it safe and keeping your options open. The compound effect that everyone talks about works exponentially when all your energy flows into one wealth-creating channel. Instead of getting 2% better at 5 different things, you get 50% better at the one thing that actually matters. This creates nonlinear results that most people can't comprehend because they're stuck in linear thinking. Real transformation happens through subtraction, not addition. You need to remove the 95% of activities that keep you financially average. This includes the comfortable routines, the social obligations that don't serve your goals, and the mental habits that prioritize security over growth. Most people fail at wealth creation because they try to add wealth-building activities on top of their existing identity instead of replacing their identity entirely. They want to become wealthy while still thinking and acting like someone who's financially average. It doesn't work that way. Your old identity will fight this transformation with sophisticated resistance. It'll tell you that focusing on one thing is risky, that you need backup plans and safety nets, that successful people diversify their income. These thoughts aren't wisdom. They're the voice of your current financial identity trying to maintain homeostasis. The people who break through to real wealth understand that the discomfort of extreme focus is temporary, but the results are permanent. They're willing to disappear from everything that doesn't serve their primary wealth vehicle because they understand that scattered energy produces scattered results. This framework requires you to think in decades, not months. While others are optimizing for short-term comfort and security, you're building something that compounds over time into generational wealth. The daily choices look completely different when you're optimizing for exponential growth instead of linear progress. Your old identity will fight this focus with every excuse it can manufacture. It'll disguise resistance as wisdom, telling you that putting all your eggs in one basket is dangerous, that successful people diversify, that you need backup plans and safety nets. These aren't rational thoughts. They're your financial identity homeostasis trying to pull you back into mediocrity. The resistance gets sophisticated. Your brain will present you with seemingly logical arguments about market volatility, economic uncertainty, and the need for multiple income streams. It'll show you examples of people who failed because they focused too narrowly. What it won't show you are the thousands who stayed financially average because they never focused at all. Start with 30 days of saying no to every opportunity that doesn't directly serve your core wealth vehicle. This sounds simple, but it's the hardest thing you'll ever do. Your calendar will feel empty. Your social life will shift. People will question your decisions. This discomfort is not a sign you're doing something wrong. It's proof you're doing something right. Document the resistance you feel during this process. Write down every excuse your brain generates for why you should take on that side project, attend that networking event, or learn that new skill. This documentation becomes your roadmap for recognizing when your old identity is trying to sabotage your transformation. The discomfort of focus is the price of escaping financial mediocrity forever. Most people aren't willing to pay this price because they can't see the exponential curve waiting on the other side. They quit right before the compound effect kicks in because linear thinking can't comprehend non-linear results. Your friends and family will become unconscious enemies of your transformation. They'll express concern about your obsession and suggest you need more balance. They're not trying to hurt you. They're trying to pull you back into the comfortable mediocrity they understand. Recognize this for what it is and stay focused. Real wealth creation isn't about managing money better. It's about becoming someone who creates value at scale. The 1% don't think about budgets and savings rates because they've transcended that level of financial thinking entirely. They think about leverage, systems, and exponential growth. Pick your one thing and disappear into it completely. Stop hedging your bets. Stop keeping your options open. Stop playing it safe. The world doesn't need another person who's decent at everything and exceptional at nothing. Subscribe for more identity transformation strategies that actually work.